Welcome to another LHB Last Days Update. Today, my friends, we're surrounded by wars and rumors of wars. People are panicking. I'm hearing people say that Donald Trump, our current president, is about to unleash World War III. Nations are rising up and putting on displays of power in order to intimidate the rest of the world. All the players are coming onto the scene as it goes with last days things. For instance, Gog and Magog, Russia is coming from the north, and they're involved. Syria, which is modern day Syria, led by Assad, who unleashed chemical weapons on his own people. They're into play right now. They're in league with Russia. The United States now has made a statement by, sending off 58 Tomahawk missiles to destroy Assad's air base. And then we just dropped Moab, the mother of all bombs, over in Afghanistan, I believe, to bomb an ISIS tunnel and cave system. But all of this is causing panic around the world, and this is what leads us to what Matthew chapter 24 says. Jesus was asked what would be the sign of your coming, the signs of your coming and your return. And let's read what his response was to his disciples. In Matthew chapter 24, starting at verse 3, it reads, "And as he, Jesus, sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So what we're seeing playing out before us on the television and on the internet worldwide is what the Bible calls the beginning of sorrows. This is a period of time where the stage is being set for Armageddon, being set for the tribulation period, and subsequently the return of the Lord Jesus Christ. But before that, there is an event called the rapture that will take place prior to the tribulation. That event is signless, meaning it'll happen without warning on the whole world. No signs need to precede it. It'll be a sudden event where all the believers in Jesus Christ will be taken off of this planet, glorified in the air and meeting the Lord above the atmosphere. We will then be taken to the third heaven, where the Father's throne is. And at that point, judgment begins on planet Earth. So the stage is being set for all of that. Right now, as I said, we are in the beginning of sorrows. If you know Christ, you don't need to panic. God told us what would happen before it did happen, for this specific reason. So we would have faith, we would have heart, we will not be fearful, and it will promote us to spread the gospel as fast as we can with as many people as we can, because we know the time is short and we don't want any to perish. So with that being said, let's look at some of the news headlines and see just how much the world is panicking, and the rumors of wars and the wars and rumors of wars are being propagated all over the internet, television, radio. The stage is being set, the prophecy being fulfilled. And without further ado, my friends, let's watch these clips. And as always, watch through the lens of Scripture. God bless.
Fox News alert for you this morning. The United States dropping the largest non-nuclear bomb in its arsenal on Afghanistan. So what message does this send to our enemies?
Yeah, Executive Vice President at the Center for Security, Jim Hansen, is joining us now to weigh in. Thank you, first of all, for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.
So tell us first, what purpose does this type of bomb serve?
Well, as you pointed out, it tells our enemies it's a bad idea to be an enemy of the United States. You know, I think they could use a new tagline for the Moab, returning terrorists to their component molecules since 2017. And they need to know that. You know, the situation is, for 8 years, our enemies ran rampant. They knew that President Obama was not going to take action. Well, the truth has changed. If you look at geostrategy as a big, high-risk poker game, Obama didn't know he was the sucker at the table. President Trump now has walked in, sat down, and he laid a 45 on the table and said the rules have changed. You better pay attention.
So they've had this missile, this bomb, I should say, since 2003. And I was watching Tucker Carlson's show last night. He had a guest that said this is just one of 15 of those mother of all bombs that the U.S. has. Why are we using it right now when we've had it since 2003? What's the change here?
Inauguration Day was the change. You know, before, when it was developed, it was designed specifically for this purpose, to take out a tunnel complex, to take out a cave complex, or to take out underground facilities like, nuclear places where Kim in North Korea may be hiding his things. So it served a dual purpose. It killed a lot of bad guys, which is a good thing. It also will serve to deter other bad actors from acting bad. So those two things, the best use for military hardware ever is to stop somebody from doing something that makes us use it. So if it does that and stops any of the bad guys, Putin, Assad, Kim in North Korea, the mullahs in Iran, from doing something wrong, good. That's what we want.
Logistically, let's take a look at some of the specifics of the bomb itself. It's a 21,000-pound bomb, 11 tons of explosives, and the blast itself was 1 mile wide in radius. And as you just mentioned, it was intended for use against tunnels, but we also know that, 36 ISIS fighters were killed in this attack. No civilians, which is great news.
Yeah, and there's another saying, rubble doesn't make trouble. So if you go ahead and take out 36 ISIS fighters, take out their support facilities, take out their, camps and homes and tunnels where they're operating, that makes them useless to the cause. And again, it also makes sure that everybody else knows that there is no place you can hide. You can duck into your rat hole and we can turn it into dust. That is a great message for anybody with bad ideas anywhere around the world.
And President Trump saying this is a very, very, very successful mission. What do we know about what happened there on the ground? You said 36 ISIS fighters killed. What kind of damage was done in terms of those tunnels?
There's not much left. I don't know that we've actually been to do bomb damage assessment on the ground. I'm sure we've had satellites and overflights and maybe even drones going in close. And who knows, it may have destroyed enough of them that our guys can actually walk in and walk across it, but I haven't seen any pictures. It'd be nice to see. A picture of that crater would go a long way, again, towards deterring anyone else from wanting to be part of that hole in the ground.
Yeah. And those craters can be, 300 meters wide, just one crater? So, yeah, that's some damage.
Absolutely.
All right, Jim Hansen live for us this morning. He'll be back with us in the second half hour. Thanks, Jim.
All right.
To our top story, the escalating crisis with North Korea. Vice President Mike Pence stood in the demilitarized zone just feet from the North Korean border yesterday, declaring a new era in America's handling of the rogue state. And during a visit to Seoul, the vice president said this.
Strategic patience has been the approach of the last American administration and beyond. For more than 2 decades, the United States and our allies have worked to peacefully dismantle North Korea's nuclear program and alleviate the suffering of their people. But at every step of the way, North Korea answered our overtures with willful deception, broken promises, and nuclear and missile tests. Over the past 18 months, North Korea has conducted 2 unlawful nuclear tests and an unprecedented number of ballistic missile tests. even conducting a failed missile launch as I traveled here for this visit. The era of strategic patience is over.
And during an interview with Fox's Ainsley Earhardt today, President Trump outlined his strategy to deal with this standoff.
I don't want to telegraph what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. I'm not like other administrations where they say we're going to do this in 4 weeks, and that doesn't work that way. We'll see what happens. I hope things work out well. I hope there's going to be peace. But, you know, they've been talking with this gentleman for a long time. You read Clinton's book. He said, oh, we made such a great peace deal, and it was a joke. You look at different things over the years with President Obama. Everybody has been outplayed. They've all been outplayed by this gentleman, and we'll see what happens. But I just don't telegraph my moves.
He also told a reporter that North Korea has, quote, got to behave. Joining us now to analyze from Washington, Fox News contributor Charles Krauthammer, who always behaves, of course. So, Charles, when I knew you were going to be on tonight, the first thing I thought of was that you wrote a column to kick off this year in 2017 on January 5th, and you said the biggest issue is North Korea. What is different tonight than it was on January 5th when that column posted?
Well, that we're actually getting some real resistance from the United States. For 30 years, we acquiesced. We kicked the can down the road. We entered into negotiations under the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, and Obama, all of which we were played. I think President Trump is absolutely right. We were played. People talk about the leader of North Korea being a madman and insane. Well, I've come to the view that he's actually exceptionally clever and rational in his own way, which is these people, he and his father and grandfather, have been able to play off the world with a very weak hand to survive, to control the regime, and up until now, to be undeterred in their quest to become a nuclear power.
So if he is rational in his own way, as you describe it, when he hears the vice president say that the era of strategic patience is over, what do you think he understands that to mean?
Well, I think he begins to think that this may be the first administration that is serious when it says we will not allow something. Now, the allowing a nuclear weapon is already gone. That's happened. They've done 5 tests. They have nukes. But what they don't have yet is the capacity to deliver it with a push of a button to the United States. And that's where they are rushing. That's where they are doing test after test. That's where they showed the world just this weekend with that amazing array of missiles that this is their prime regime objective, to achieve the position where they can actually push a button and launch an ICBM that could destroy an American city, at which point they become an intolerable threat.
This means war. Putin just threatened to do something horrible to Donald Trump. Danny Gold, Liberty Writers News, reports this is freaking nuts. Right when you thought the world was finally on the right track with President Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin goes and does something insane. Earlier today, Russia, with Iran and Hezbollah, issued a threat to the United States. Quote, from now on, we will respond with force to any breach of red lines, and America knows our ability to respond well. They say it here. Basically, what they said was if we ever attack Syria again, Russia will attack the United States or its allies. Okay. They say it here, Iran even went ahead and took the threat further. The Ayatollah tweeted out, if G7 ultimatum to Russia brings us to real war, what is your trust in real Donald Trump as a wartime leader at Boris Johnson as his lieutenant? They really, literally just called for a real war if we go against their coalition. Now, of course, nobody wants World War III. Nobody. Okay? Because, why? Because we're talking about some idiot somewhere, of course all the liberals, but Trump's going to press the button. Somebody's going to launch a nuke, and then all bets are off. Okay? Everybody's got nukes now. Everybody's itching to launch them. Look what's happening in North Korea right now. Okay, that guy's threatening to nuke everybody. So, nobody wants war. Nobody wants nuclear war. Nobody wants a conventional war. But what's happening in Syria, my goodness, I personally wish that Trump didn't do anything in that situation. I wish he didn't launch those cruise missiles. I know why he did it, though, because he has to put his money where his mouth is right now. He has to stand up where Obama didn't and take a stand and lead in the world, no matter what. They write here, however, if Russia thinks they can threaten us, they have another thing coming. So, they say here, let's let Putin and all of his cronies know that America is not scared one bit of him. We can and will stand together and defend freedom in our country. But nobody certainly wants war. This is a troubling development. We will continue to follow. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Subscribe for updates. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and share this report on your social networks. Be sure to hit patreon.com/nextnews to support our efforts here to keep us going right here in the middle of the YouTube apocalypse. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
You possess the power to impact the global narrative. Please share this report, and to get more videos like this, become a Next News subscriber by clicking the link below. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.
No child of God should ever suffer such horror. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
The United States took a very measured step last night. We are prepared to do more, but we hope that will not be necessary.
The consequences of this for regional and international stability could be extremely serious.
If I were one of our Sunni Arab allies watching this, I'd be encouraged that America was back in the business of being more assertive, less passive.
Well, bipartisan support largely on Capitol Hill for the strikes that happened into Syria last night, 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles. In fact, some Democrats speaking out prominently. One of them, Anne-Marie Slaughter, in the Obama administration, Director of Policy Planning for the State Department under Secretary Hillary Clinton. She tweeted this: Donald Trump has done the right thing on Syria, finally, after years of useless hand-wringing in the face of hideous atrocities. Strong letter to follow there. There were obviously world reactions, and we're going to cover it all. Let's bring in our panel. Tom Rogan, columnist for National Review and Opportunity Lives. A.B. Stoddard, associate editor at Real Clear Politics. Charlie Hurt, opinion editor for The Washington Times, and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Okay, Tom, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was absolutely the right thing to do. President Trump didn't just act, he acted quickly. And in doing that, I think as Senator McConnell notes, he absolutely has put himself in a position of strength going forwards, whatever he decides to do next. Sunni Arab monarchies extremely happy, relieved. That helps in terms of reducing their impetus to fund groups like Al-Qaeda as a counterbalance to Iran. But on this specific issue of the rule of law in the world, where the American anchor point will sustain, I think Trump took a major step forwards there. And if you look at the respective elation in governments across Europe at what has been done, I think it is the proof that this desire for American leadership was desperately desired.
As we put up Sean Spicer's tweet, after you're looking at this Tomahawk cruise missiles, Sean Spicer's tweet of the room where President Trump was, the image after the strike apparently was ordered at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time.